Look, I want you to imagine it's Monday morning. You're walking out to your driveway, coffee in hand, looking at that shiny piece of metal sitting there, glinting in the sun. You feel a brief spark of pride because, hey, you worked hard for that, right? You get in, the smell of the interior hits you, that new car scent that's actually just a cocktail of off-gassing chemicals. And for a split second, you feel like you finally made it. But then, as you turn the key, I want you to imagine a giant industrial strength vacuum cleaner attached to your bank account that just switches on and stays on, sucking out cash every single second that engine is idling in traffic. You're sitting there in a 2-ton cage of glass and steel, watching the minutes of your life tick away, while the value of the very thing you're sitting in is evaporating faster than the gasoline in the tank. Most people think of their car as a symbol of freedom. But here's the thing. For the vast majority of people, that car is actually a financial ball and chain that is dragging them underwater before they even get to work. We've been conditioned by decades of clever marketing to believe that a good car is a mandatory milestone of adulthood. But in reality, it's often a high-interest, rapidly depreciating liability that is eating your future self alive. Look, the numbers in 2026 are absolutely terrifying. The average monthly payment for a new car has officially crossed the $800 mark, and when you add in insurance, maintenance, and the invisible cost of depreciation, most Americans are spending over $1,250 a month just to move from point A to point B. That is over $15,000 a year. If you took that same $1,250 and put it into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund instead, in 30 years, you'd be sitting on nearly $2.8 million. You aren't just paying for a car. You are literally trading a multi-million-dollar retirement for a heated seat and a backup camera. It's a four-wheeled cage, and the bars are made of compounding interest and planned obsolescence. See, a car is a unique kind of financial disaster because it's a triple threat to your wealth. First, it loses 10% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. It's like buying a loaf of bread and having the baker take 2 giant bites out of it before you even leave the store. Second, you're likely paying interest on that disappearing value. You are paying the bank for the privilege of owning something that is worth less every single morning you wake up. And third, the opportunity cost is staggering. Every dollar that goes into a car wash or a new set of tires is a dollar that isn't working for you in the market. We treat cars like assets, but they are actually depreciating liabilities. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. You can keep pouring labor and money into it, but it's never going to stay full. The shocking truth is that for many of you, your car is actually working a job against you. It's the biggest poverty trap in the modern middle class because it feels like a necessity, but it's priced like a luxury. We spend 90% of our time with the car parked, yet we pay 100% of the costs, 100% of the time. You have to realize that every time you trade in a car for a newer model, you're essentially hitting a reset button on your wealth building. It's a cycle of perpetual debt that the system wants you to stay in. Here's a reveal that most people miss. Car manufacturers aren't even in the business of making cars anymore. They're in the business of selling debt. That's why the financing office is the most profitable room in the dealership. They don't care about the engine. They care about the 7% interest rate you're locked into for 84 months. So, here's the actionable truth. You need to break the cycle. If you can't buy it in cash, you can't afford it. If the total cost of ownership is more than 10% of your take-home pay, you are being robbed by your own driveway. The goal isn't to never own a car. The goal is to stop letting the car own you. Sell the status symbol, buy a reliable, boring used vehicle that has already taken its biggest depreciation hit, and take that extra $700 or $900 a month and start buying assets that actually pay you back. You have to decide if you want to look rich in the parking lot today or actually be wealthy in 10 years. The four-wheeled cage only stays locked if you keep paying the jailer. It's time to unlock the door, step out, and start building a floor that isn't made of scrap metal and rubber. Your future is worth way more than a leather interior. Start today, because that $2.8 million version of you is waiting for you to stop paying for a badge on a grill and start paying for your freedom.